right? And you said sit down, so this causes a cultural misunderstanding. That's what I call it. And they happen 1,000 times a day. But now I'm telling you, it is a valid cultural behavior. You got to get rid of that blind spot. And you got to look at that kid and you got to validate it in the front. So instead of saying sit down, here's what you're going to say. I love how enthusiastically you come into my classroom. You feel that? You feel the difference? Try this one. I am grateful for how you greet your classmates. Look at that. And see, this is what we want the student to do. Yeah, that's right. It's about time y'all grateful around here. Took y'all long enough. Been sending me out of class all this time. And then we got him. We got him. Now don't worry, we still have to do what? Build and bridge. That's the second part of the story. But right now, we're focusing on the validation affirmation. Because this is what you need to do. This is the first step. This afternoon, I promise you, I'm going to talk about how to build and bridge. But right now, I'm going to sit in the validation affirmation, because when do your students get to hear, I love, I am grateful, I recognize, I honor, I appreciate around cultural and linguistic behaviors. You know when I love how you sat down. I love how Tommy has his pencil out. That's when you say you love them. Do you ever tell them you love them for who they are? Right? I love how you didn't get in trouble today. This is what we say to them. But how about I am grateful for the cultural greeting that you bring into our classroom? That'll get that student beaming. Yes. That's what this approach is about. So we incorporate it into the teaching by saying, you're going to culturally greet one another. See, that's validating and affirming too. Now, I'm prescribing the greetings for you today, but ultimately we know in the schools, in the classes, I'm going to get the greetings from the students. Teach us a greeting from your culture. Hey, teach us a greeting from your culture. And we're all going to do it together. That was on the surface. Let me give you a deep one. Sociocentrism. Sociocentrism simply means the act of socializing is more important than what you want us to talk about. Okay? The act of socializing is more important than what you want us to talk about. The fact that I get to talk with my friend outweighs what you want me to talk about. That's sociocentrism. You in front of the room having a happy moment about reducing fractions. I'm more excited because I get to talk with my friend. This is sociocentrism. And the sociocentrism comes out of cultures that learn by talking. It's that simple. Learn by doing, right? Learning by engaging with one another. Oral, verbal traditions that have been passed down. These are sociocentric cultures. You have a lot of students who are coming from sociocentric cultures in your schools, but we have turned them into negatives. Someone, give me a name for a kid who's sociocentric in your schools. What do we call these kids? Disruptive. Chatty patties. Ma'am, do you say Patty or Kathy? Kathy. Okay, I stand corrected. Sorry. I thought it was chatty patties. Chatty Cathy's. What did I hear over here? Class clown. Say it again. Distracted. Cool. What school do you work for? Right? That must be that's usually the alternative ed group right there. That's right? Yeah, right. Listen, we've taken something that is a positive for these kids and we've turned it into a negative. So you have, how do I validate from sociocentrism? Whenever we do discussion protocols, I allow for sociocentrism. I want you to be sociocentric. I want you to get on the topic, go off the topic, and bring it back. You've been doing it all morning. Think about it. Go back to all the turning talks and stuff. Some of you never talked about what I asked you to talk about. You just talked about whatever you wanted to talk about. That's sociocentrism. Some of you went off topic and never brought it back. That's sociocentrism. And we want to allow our students that, and I want that to happen. This is why I do the discussion protocols. Don't worry, I can always get accountability. I can always get accountability. So the way that this works, folks, is all the activities and all the behaviors in orange are the behaviors that your students are bringing. If you do the activity on top, you are validating and affirming that behavior. So if you do a shout out, you are validating and affirming spontaneity. Right? Now, some of you, I can see it in your faces. This is your facial expression right now. You have lost your damn mind. So let me help you out. Notice in red, there are a couple of activities there. I'm gonna help you out right now. Notice, in red it says, raise hand. Go ahead, excel. When we do raising hands, we build and bridge taking turns. There's one more, get excited. There's one more. Moment of silence. You see that? When we do moment of silence, we build and bridge individualism. The way this pedagogy works is very simple. You're going to bounce around with traditional, responsive, and cultural responsive activities, and by doing so, you're going to teach your students situational appropriateness. That's how it works. And whenever you do the cultural responsive, you have the guarantee of knowing you're validating the behaviors in orange. That's what this is about, right? What we need you to do is to commit to trying the activities. And then we begin to roll.